addiction for me, alcohol, and also addicted to people, places and things, collecting, trying to be perfect and never so. And I went like this for 35 years, trying to fit in and trying to be a part of life, trying to think my way through to live. And what I found is if I get my emotional and spiritual well-being resolved and get myself living in the moment, feeling life as it is emotionally, then my spiritual connection to reality is more assured. I see the truth of now rather than interpret it through my history. And that might seem a strange thing to say, but if my history has 35 years of drinking in it, then I certainly need to modify my attitudes and behaviour on a daily basis to fit with reality. Not the reality I used to know, which was through the bottom of a glass. Now it's coffee. So I'm very lucky. So what helps me keep in recovery? Well, a fellowship, Alcoholics Anonymous. I don't speak for it, never can, never will. And part of the daily reflections which I share here from this book is all about Tradition 11, about anonymity at the level of press, radio and films. So why do these videos if anonymity is so important? Well, maybe it's about what you see is what you get in recovery. And the only place to find out how to be sober, I have found, which works for me, I can only say for me, is AA. In the meetings of AA, I see reality daily. Those who are new, those who have been around for a long time. And people are happy or sad, depending on their life experiences. But the one thing they aim not to do first is to take a drink. So if we can keep sober one day at a time, then we see reality as it is, and it improves. We improve our conscious contact with now. And a lot of people say that now is the only moment we have, and I tend to agree. The only moment I have found I have is now. So history can be helpful. The wisdom of the years of now not drinking, and the wisdom of the years learned when I was drinking. And there is a particular difference. I feel life rather than think my way into life. And that for me is important. Feel what's going on for me, my mood and my attitude, so I can then work on the behaviour to suit reality, not my perception of it through the bottom of a glass. So AA, how does it help me? Well, here goes the AA preamble shared at every meeting, and I emphasise it's what you see is what you get. This is not a promotion where if there is a guarantee you will be fixed, because if we wait to be fixed, it's like watching television. We judge it and we don't live it. So the AA preamble. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is the desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution. It does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And that's it. Sober first, so the rest of life can work. And it took me a long time to work that out. I always thought that if I was putting sober first, I was being selfish. But in fact, what I am being is realistic. If I'm sober, then life can work. I can connect and be included in family, community, society, whatever place I happen to be, with that primary directive in me, which is to love, be loved, and useful. That's how I see it for me. So AA has put me back on track, the single track of sobriety, so that my life can work as best it can. And yesterday was difficult. It was going to hospital to get tests, and now we've got snow coming, and I can't get the results probably, but that's all right. I shall get them eventually. I shall have to ring up. And I didn't keep it simple. I was just aiming to get to hospital, do the tests, come home. But I went for the post office and got stuck in customs charges. I went to the DIY shop to get a breast pole, to put the curtains up behind me. There's a breast pole, you can see the background there. and on that are blackout blinds which keep the thermal insulation in as well. So it's, and I bent the pole because I fastened it too hard to the bike. Going around with a 6-foot pole on your bike is not a good idea, especially in the conditions of extreme cold yesterday. And my computer packed up on email, and you name it, little niggly things, the mice, not the elephants. The elephants for me are always about retaining sobriety and my conscious contact with reality, and the small things in life can interfere with the big picture of living well and letting things go. So I need work on my sobriety daily. So daily reflections for today from this book, November 30th, and it says protection for all, and this is where I can get into trouble with my fellows. At the personal level, anonymity provides protection for all members for identification as alcoholics, a safeguard often of special importance to newcomers. Anonymity affords sanctuary to find our truth. At the level of press, radio, TV and films, anonymity stresses the equality and fellowship of all members by putting the brake on those who might otherwise exploit their AA affiliation to achieve recognition, power and personal gain. And I hope I can understand that in the context of my sobriety, and I'll share how in a minute. Attraction is the main force in the fellowship of AA. That is, what you see is what you get. And I'm only one voice, so we need the many voices to stay sober, and it is the many voices and the many people who are sober daily, sharing their experience, strength and hope, that makes fellowship work for me. The miracle of continuous sobriety of alcoholics within AA confirms this fact every day. It would be harmful if the fellowship promoted itself by publicising through the media, TV, press, radio and the sobriety of well-known public personalities who became members of AA. And then here comes the crunch. If these personalities happen to have slips, outsiders would think our movement is not strong, and they might question the veracity of the miracle of the century. Alcoholics Anonymous is not anonymous, but its members should be. And you know, in recovery we often say there are no shoulds for individuals. We work out, we have a set of suggestions, 12 steps which are suggestions, 12 traditions which are suggestions. And that's not a get out by me. But when it comes to sobriety, I know I slipped and slided quite a while before I actually got the message of rarely have we seen a person fail who thoroughly follows our path. And it takes a while to thoroughly follow the path. So when it comes to personalities slipping, and that they're in the limelight, there is a danger that people might ridicule AA. But we need to face the truth of sobriety. Some people do slip. Any person can slip if their life circumstances get difficult, either because they are successful and they forget what the success came from, that is sober living in the moment of now. So my contention, if you like, or the resolution for me has been this: in fellowship with everybody there, what you see is what you get. And that's not promoting anything other than truth. When it comes to personalities promoting AA because they're sober, then that may be a problem. But I don't pretend to know all the answers. I just know the answers on a daily basis like anybody else in fellowship. So when I close down now, I share the Serenity Prayer, and it helps me with my conscience. So the Serenity Prayer to God or good conscience: God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, reality, courage to change the things I can, which are in reality, and the wisdom to know the difference, for me, is just for today.